Daylight.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome. My name is Andrew Heath. I'm the International Creative Director for Rush. I'm alongside my model Anna today, and we're going to be sharing with you a bit of a twist on a graduated bob. Anna's previous haircut, we cut a little bit undercut, so we've undercut the hair a little bit through certain panels, which I'll show you a little bit later. There's certain panels that are a little bit shorter. I've isolated the hair off in what we would call a term as a triple C, which is a curve through the back, taking it quite high actually, just beneath the crown. So I've got a square section on the crown area, a slightly larger section through the front area, and two curvature sections through the sides. So I'm going to start by graduating the back. So I'm going to work a really simple technique, which is a really classical graduation technique. But obviously where there's going to be a slight undercut to the shape, I'm going to manipulate the section slightly differently. So I'm not going to work them as I would going vertical to horizontal. I'm going to work them slightly more directional but vertical, on a vertical plane. Now this will encourage weight removal. It will encourage me to get this area quite flat through the back and head hug through on top of the occipital bone, and really flatten the shape. I'm going to work with a square line through the back, just working with starting vertical, and I'm going to slightly drift my sections across and working my number system, 2 to 1, 3 to 2, 4 to 3, 5 to 4, just as we would a layered bob or a graduated bob. But the sections, the use of the sections will create a different shape. So I'm going to start through the middle. I'm actually going to get one more clip actually, because I want to get this, the right hand side, out of the way, just so it's really, really clean. Sorry Chris, I'm going to just move you.
No, that's okay. I'm over your shoulder, and don't you worry.
So we're joined here today obviously with Chris Williams.
Hi guys.
International Colour Director. Hopefully you guys know how this works now. You can ask questions, you can put them in the inbox. Obviously we'll get straight back to you and try and answer your questions as quick as possible. So really easy. I'm going to move the right hand side out of the way. I'm going to use a clip for this, obviously for cleanness.
Yep.
Just going to ask Anna just to pop her head down just a little bit for me, just to assist me with the graduation on the underneath. I'm going to start my first section underneath the occipital bone. Now obviously this line, the first line we create, obviously is very important because it starts the angle. And with the head being down, working with the graduation, starting to take that hair into the nape. I'm going to work above that section. The next section's going to drift back onto the previous. Now, the reason I use small sections not only is so I can see my guideline very, very clearly and I'm working cleanly, it's really for control and to ensure that I'm not over-directing the hair unwantingly as well. You can see that now starting to dip into the shape nicely. Now, very important here, my feet position. I don't move around too much, I stay quite static, but I'm using my feet in a way where they're quite open, so I'm allowing my body to be able to move so I can see my guide. So it's really for control. Good.
So guys, we've got a quick comment. Editor says good, or hi Andy, hello Chris.
Hello, Edita.
Hello editor. Hope you're well. Guys, if you have got comments or any questions, please post them in the comments book. We'll read them out. We'll do our best to sort of answer any questions that you've got. And also, please like, please share. Our aim, as always, is to get the love out there. So please, please like, please share, spread the love, and get as many people sort of viewing as we can. and don't be shy. Ask those questions. You know, there are no stupid questions. There are no bad comments. You know, anything that you post, we'll do our best to kind of read it out and kind of, you know, share the love a little bit.
So each section now just working back to the previous. So I'm working technically on a square line, but obviously where the head is round, you're naturally, as the hair falls, you're going to get a triangular approach on the hairline, on the shape. You can see it's working shorter to longer.
Yeah.
Working with very clean, very fine sections, guys. Just so I can see my work. I'm not going to get lost. That's the key to it. Anything you do here in hairdressing is to make sure that you have a very foolproof plan. You know, your head map, that's your first stage. You're marking it off. So you know exactly where your weight distribution is going to be. Then you work in your plan about how you're going to graduate or how you're going to layer or how you're going to place your one length. And work everything really with precision. So with precision, we're working wet to dry, ensuring that we get very good tension on the hair.
Andy Body Peshev says yes, Andy, and lots of thumbs up there.
Very good, thank you. So I've been working, excuse me, I lost it a little bit there. Just going to take my section again.
Sorry, that's probably me. I'm literally, guys, we are...
He's literally under my armpit.
Under his armpit.
Thankfully, I used a bit of links this morning.
No one gets a view like
Thankfully.
this most of the time.
So now you can see my sections are almost horizontal now. But I've drifted across a lot more than I do a classic graduation. You know, with a classic graduation bob, I would work with a pivotal pattern. So every section coming from the centre, working its way out, so you get a slightly heavier result, if you like. With this pattern I'm using, I've worked it a lot flatter and came across a lot more gradual, so you're going to remove slightly more weight.
So Andy, just quickly, we got Cameron here. She says, hi there, I'm a student doing hairdressing level 2 at the moment at college.
Excellent. Congratulations.
Which is really cool.
Wicked.
She says she's not learning enough and wants to learn to do more practicing on cutting. Any suggestions, guys?
I would speak to your tutor, obviously. I think, you know, your tutor's obviously got a little bit to, you know, he's responsible, or she is responsible for you in that college. So I would definitely have a word and say, look, I feel like I'm not doing enough. Because there's no real excuse for that. I mean, we could, you know, you can talk about hairdressing, but at the end of the day, you're 100% right, Cameron. You have to get a bit hands-on. It's not, you can't learn it from a book.
No.
It's, so I completely agree with you. So I would literally have a word with them and say, look, this is how I feel, and get it across to them that you want to learn a bit more hands-on.
Yeah. The other thing I always say as well, Colin, you know, I always think that, you know, being in a salon really is a benefit. I trained as an assistant in a salon. You can really see what the guys are doing. You're touching hair every single day, and I think that's a real benefit, don't you think, Andy?
Yes. So maybe you might want to kind of do a bit of Saturday work, or.
I mean, if you're not doing a work placement now towards the college, I think that's a really good way of getting involved. And I always say to my assistants in the salon, if you've got a model on your day off, you want to bring it in, one of the guys will definitely take you through it to have a little practice.
I think it's a good point, Chris. It's a very good point.
Editor says, so now when you're on the side behind the ears, do you over-direct me more?
Now, that's a really good point. As I hit the corner of that line, see where the head breaks. See, for me, this area here is the area where the head doesn't really round as much as it does past this point. So past this point, I'm directing right the way back to this line here. So your over-direction actually does become more apparent. It's a very good point. You can see I've got that little point. This line I'm going to draw is going to go around about to here and come through here.
Fantastic.
So it's going to be quite strong in the end. We worked on it with her last time. It really suits her. Opens up her face shape so beautifully.
Another question as well. Rick Roberts.
Yes.
Says, are we going to be at Pro Hair Live? He hopes we're both well.
Oh, we're both well, Rick. Thanks, mate. We're going to be doing London Live actually this year.
Yeah, we're going to be at HJ Live in London.
We're going to be doing London
the same weekend.
Yeah. We're at the moment, Rick, because we're really excited to be doing Manchester soon. Over the next 2 years, it's definitely going to be a plan. Because we are fully aware it's a bigger event. So, and we want to come and join with the big boys, you know, with you guys, and and all that sort of stuff. So we do want to do that.
I don't know why it clashes. It's one of those things, isn't it? It's a real nightmare, really, that it clashes for a lot of people because you've got to pick to be at one or the other.
And at the moment, obviously, we're in London. We're in the London Academy. We're kind of, our thought process this year, just do it one more time, London Live. See how we feel next year again. Yeah. But it's always something we're talking about because I love it. I've done it before. I did it before when the guys were on the Fame team, actually. Tina and Brett were on the Fame team. And we went down to London Live. We had a fantastic day. But it is a big expense, obviously, to any company. Doesn't matter who you are. You've got to get 5-6 models down there. You've got to stay in a hotel. You've got to do this and that. It's not cheap. Yeah.
I think, unfortunately, while they clash, we've got stuff here on the Monday anyway that week. So with it clashing, it's going to just be a bit of a nightmare for us to get up to Manchester. But Rick says it's a party that we're going to miss out on this year.
I know, it always is. I know it always is, and we've done it, like I say, we've done it a couple of times, and I've absolutely loved it.
But we are going to be coming to Manchester at some point, aren't we? We're going to be doing a little bit of education.
The thing is, now we've got a salon there, haven't we?
Yeah.
So it's...
We have the salon in Manchester, so we are going to be coming out, we are going to be doing some education up there and getting involved that way. So, unfortunately we're going to miss this one, but we will be, up there soon anyway.
Now I'm drawing the hair back to the line. I'm doing my whole left side first. Now just purely because there's a slight asymmetry to this shape actually. So I decided to work this side first, then I'm going to go on to my right hand side afterwards and show you this because it's slightly shorter on the right hand side. I'm getting quite a nice curve there now.
Yeah, you can see that starting to sit into the shape already, can't you? Even though you've not cut the line, I think it's really sort of, it's apparent how that's going to look. Yeah. You've done a little bit of pre-colouring. All we've done is a glossing here today. Correct me, demi or glossing or? Yeah, we've just done a glossing. She's got, first few sort of white hairs we just wanted to blend away, give the hair a really nice shine. But I think with this kind of shape, very much about the graduation, very much a sort of classic. Keeping it one colour helps to sort of show the technique off that you're doing a lot. So I just use DiraChest. For those of you that don't know, we work with L'Oreal Professional. Just use a DiraChest. We've got a 5/8 and we've got a 6/8 that we've used. A bit of both, just with 15 vol, and that's had sort of a 20-minute development time there. Now, Chris, we had quite a week last week. We did. We had a great week over in Finland last weekend. What did we do? What did we get up to? Because I had a fantastic time. So just before we do, editor's just asking a quick question. Says, hi, please. Chris, is there a colour choice training tomorrow? Editor, yes, there is. There's going to be colour choice here at the Academy. If you've got anyone that wants to come, please feel free to sort of send them down, editor. The more the merrier. We're always happy to have people. Yeah, we had a great time in Finland. We went over to Finland last week to do a couple of things. We did a seminar on Tuesday night, didn't we? Yeah. Which was really nice. We had 6 fantastic models to share based on our latest collection, but our Tomboy collection and our Lost Rebels collection. And then after that, we did 3 days of of training, really, just again based around the collections, but kind of a little bit of a twist on them, I suppose, and making it kind of a little bit salon friendly. And did some workshops with the guys over there, didn't we? Yeah, it was fantastic. And anyone who wants to see some more of that, please join me on Instagram, because I actually did
I did a bit of a story.
Sorry, that's me. I'm going to come the other side.
I did a bit of a story on how, we finished the events and how we did a bit, and we ended up in this creative hub in Finland. And if you want to see it, please join me on Instagram. It's Andrew Heisman, and you'll see it, and it's quite incredible. It's so creative, wasn't it, Chris?
Yeah. It's actually one of the L'Oreal educators out there, a guy called Jarkko. He's a freelancer with L'Oreal Professional out in Finland, and he also does a lot of stuff. He's a really, really cool, really creative guy. He does some art. He's been doing art. We worked out for the last sort of 14 years. He does some amazing art exhibitions and photography, which are beautiful. But he's got this incredible flat, hasn't he? I say flat, sort of like a workspace, studio space, but it's his passion. It's sort of, like he said, it's 25 years worth of collecting has gone into building it, and it absolutely looks stunning.
So I hope you guys liked the first part of the. You can see what I've done is I've cut a very flat graduation, which is distending from just on top of the occipital bone, dropping towards the jawline. Obviously, for those of you who know our philosophies, we've got basic shape first, we cross-check it, which I'm just about to do, and then we're going to refine that at the end. Now, refining will include the outline shape, which I'm going to place into the hair, and some of my interior work, probably a little bit of dusting with scissor over comb, just to ensure everything's really clean and really pure.
Cool. So Andy, also let's talk a little bit about, we mentioned sort of the fact we've got a bit of training on tomorrow.
Yes.
But let's talk a little bit about the options that we've got here at the Academy, both for Rush staff, because obviously we do offer sort of training for the Rush team here, but also the other courses we run for everyone
external
else as well.
people. Yeah, exactly. Well, we do a lot of stuff here, don't we, Chris? We do. One of the courses that's really quite popular at the moment is called Cutting Hair the Rush Way, and it kind of is a fusion course. It shows you how we work our classical cutting and how we incorporate contemporary disconnection into salon wearable hair. And then we do show, because we haven't released it yet, some of our more creative looks, which is more some of our, how we work our creative concepts for some of our art team staff, and that sort of stuff. So we do a little demonstration of that at the end. It's quite cool because you kind of get a little bit more of an insight. So that's what we're doing on the cutting side at the moment. And obviously we have Pure Rush. Now Pure Rush is everything from, we talk about how we stand, our body position, how we use our sections to create the result we want. And really it's working with our fundamentals, classical graduation, classical layering, and our one length. So keeping it very, very, very simple. That's what we're doing on the cutting front. On the colour front, what are we doing, Chris?
On the colour front, we've got quite a few, I say quite a few different things going on. We're offering sort of Colour Rush as one of the courses, which is a 3-day course, which focuses a little bit on kind of all of the Rush kind of more creative colouring. So right the way through from the philosophy that we all sort of use when we're looking at coming up with colours, the way we work with colour to create an effect on shape, that kind of thing. Going through sort of some of our salon friendly kind of creative looks, and then sort of finishing up with sort of some of our collection looks, how some of the collections were conceived, and how we kind of take those ideas and put them into colour, as it were, so you can actually see the end results and how they're all kind of come up with, which I think is kind of quite interesting. As well as that, we've got the 1-day courses as well for all the Rush stylists that want to come down, and we offer a balayage course, and I would say a balayage, but a freehand course, which is Rush freehand or colour freehand, which focuses on how to get the blends, the fades, the bleeds, all those sort of things that people are all kind of talking about, and still sort of wanting to learn.
Is this quite a classical look now though, the bleeds and the fades? Because It's not going anywhere, is it really? Let's be honest. Colour freehand.
No, not at all. I mean, colour freehand now. Oops, sorry, I'm going the wrong way with the camera.
It's okay, mate.
Right. Yeah, colour freehand. Really, for me, absolutely a classic now. I think when the ombre trend or the root trend sort of first came round, there was a bit of me that'd seen it before in the 90s. It had gone away, and I kind of thought it will probably disappear again. But it's such a modern classic, isn't it? And that we now say it's kind of joined the likes of sort of full head colour and highlights as one of our classics. I think if it's something that you are not an expert at or you struggle with getting that blend right, it's really something now that you should be kind of focusing on making sure you can do. I mean, I still hear sometimes people saying, "Oh, I've never done one before. I've never done a balayage before." I'm sort of like, "Wow, that's crazy. Get down, come and learn how to do it." And it's one of those things. It's freehand is completely visual, isn't it, Andy?
Yeah.
So you do have to practice it. You have to work at it. It's not something that everyone's naturally going to be able to do immediately. Like anything, you've got to have a little go. You've got to learn the technique. You've got to practice that technique. You've got to come back. You've got to refine it and get it sorted. So that's always a very good course. The other one we do here is colour choice, which is much more theory based. As an offering, and that kind of is a little bit of a loose course in that we tailor it to whoever's on the course. So when you come down, we'll ask you what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, what you want to kind of learn out of it, what you have problems with, whatever. And we're going to focus the theory that we're going to cover that day on that, and then we're going to have a little go at sort of putting it into play, hopefully.
One question I've got for you on that one. I mean, let's just say, because we're a L'Oreal salon.
Yes, we are.
And a customer isn't L'Oreal, they're using another product. You can still work that course.
I mean, this one's kind of more aimed at an internal course end.
Right.
I think if you weren't a L'Oreal salon, you wouldn't get necessarily as much out of it, because we are going to be very much kind of focusing on product, problem solving, using L'Oreal Professional, and then some of it would kind of translate over, but not as much. But what I would say, if you are a L'Oreal, someone that uses L'Oreal Professional, you want to get a slightly different take on it. We've got a very strong kind of relationship with L'Oreal, but we've also got our own kind of views and opinions that we will share on the course, which makes it kind of a little bit interesting. Maybe we've got some solutions that someone else might not have thought of.
Brilliant.
So that's well worth sort of coming down and looking at. Sorry, you've done a lot while I've been talking there, Ed.
Yeah, a little bit. So I've literally done that, what I would probably call my third quadrant, if you like, because that's the third area.
Yeah.
Started on the left, and I worked right the way through to the side. It's looking good, actually.
Jeremy says, looking great so far, Andy.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Jeremy, we're going to have to get you to do one of these for the team soon.
I'm looking forward to that.
I can't wait to watch it. It'll be great. So just sort of cross-checking there, Andy? Or?
Just making sure my elevation is the same.
Yeah.
Through this top area. Just checking, make sure I get good tension on the hair. Like I say, I'm working very high in the back there. I want to get quite a strong shape into this.
Quick question here from Emma Fitzpatrick.
Hello.
She says, "Hi Andy, this looks great, but can you please recap why you sectioned the hair this way before graduating?"
Yeah, it's a really good question. It's due to the previous haircut, Emma. So the previous haircut had a little bit of an undercut into it. So I'm working with the previous shape, first of all, which I checked first, which was a triple C. And that's how I come to section it off like this, working with the previous shape on the hair. I hope that answers your question.
So you are going to find, aren't you, as you go through here, that some of these the layers that were there before aren't going to quite meet in.
No, but we're kind of growing it out. It's kind of like, you know, we've put like a very strong undercut into it before. Where we've kind of cut really short panels out there. So on this particular shape, what I'm kind of doing is lifting it all, lifting all the bases up very high, and lift up all the base up very high. Kind of work on slightly more of a graduated shape underneath, and ignore these areas that have been cut away last time. I'm going to ignore these, and just keep to more of a kind of classical graduation underneath. I'm going to layer the top over it though, just so I keep in line, because I can't connect with the section that they've got previously. So I'm going to leave a little bit more of a seamless, and plus I'm going to take I'm taking this shape very high underneath, you know, very flat and high, so I can just seamlessly take this and bevel it over afterwards. But what that's going to do is just grow these areas out, just so I can start to work a more classical shape into the hair.
We've got Gulab Zari says hello. He's just joined from watching us from Mumbai.
Hello, how are you?
Good to
hear from you.
Good to hear from you. We're looking forward to. We're going to be over in India.
You guys are over soon, aren't you?
In April, I'm going to be coming to India in April. Going to be in Delhi and in Bangalore with L'Oreal Professional. So, you know, it'd be great to see you guys. But later on in the year, in July, Rush, I'm going to be back in Mumbai if you are about. You know, we'd love to see you down on one of the courses, or just pop into the academy and say hi.
You're going with, we've just recently promoted one of our workshop team, very talented young man, extremely talented young man, to the artistic team. And he's going to, where's he going, Chris?
He's going to be coming with me, Ashley.
Ashley Hayes, yes.
Ashley, very talented man, an incredible cutter. That's just joined the artistic team. He's going to be coming with me to Delhi and to Bangalore, which is going to be great. You know, Delhi's one of my favourite cities in India that I've been to, and I think we're going to have a great time. Always fantastic.
Brand new academy there as well.
Lovely new academy that the L'Oreal Professional have got there. It's only been open a couple of years now, 18 months now. And the same also in Bangalore, lovely new academy there that's not very old. So, you know, it's going to be great. We're going to be doing some really nice courses, focusing a little bit on salon wearable kind of looks, but giving it that Rush take, so something a little bit different as well. So if you are around, you know, come on down or spread the word. We always love to share the education. Rick Roberts says, very nice graduation, Andy.
Thanks, Rick. Thank you, mate. Just working, you know, I think, you know, once you hairdressing for me it's about mastering your classics. I'm not going to lie. Once you have your classics, then you can start to, as you know, Rick, you can start to kind of have a play, and you can start to have a bit of fun. But I think, you know, there's so many people. It's the only downside to education at the moment. Is so many people running before they can walk.
Yeah, I think so.
And it's like, you know, it's kind of the one thing I think, you know, we've shot ourselves in the foot. A lot of teachers started showing disconnection too early, started to open people's minds up too early, when really we should have spent a lot more time focusing on the kids' basic skills, which I think just makes it so much easier later, because we're always backtracking after that. Blow drying for me is a skill these days which is being ignored slightly.
Yeah, it's such an important thing, isn't it? Sort of the finish on any shape. Katie Ian Smith says, lovely shape, Anne.
Thank you very much, Katie.
You know, I think it's like anything. I think really, you know, everyone kind of, whenever we speak to anyone, they all want to do like the most amazing creative things. And creative things are fantastic, they're really enjoyable. And they do kind of, you know, open your mind, take your work to another level. But you've got to get those classics mastered, like Andy says.
Ultimately, that's what it's all about, I think. You know, the colourist, you want to make sure your team members can put on a tint as good as you.
Yeah.
As a cutter, you want to make sure that they can blow dry your haircuts to make sure that it's exactly how you would blow dry the haircut, how you would finish it off. And these are the things we can't miss out now. You know, I urge any educator out there to focus on that first and educate people the correct way from the off.
And Andy, just quickly, mentioning blow drying, you're starting to blow dry now.
I am.
Any tips, and also products? Have you worked any products in the hair before? Are you working with any product? What's the
Really
key?
good question, Chris. I've used some list control on the hair, which I've used as a cutting agent, first of all. So I've applied that before I even started cutting. I've reapplied a little bit now, and this is purely just so I can get a little bit more shine in the hair, a bit more control. I'm wrap drying the hair, so I'm using a technique where I'm controlling the root area of the hair, because the roots, I can't put a graduation in the hair and use anything else but a flat brush, because for me, I need to make sure that the hair sits to a natural fall before I do anything.
And one thing I notice, Anne, when you do it, you really work with the nozzle sort of quite close to the hair.
Yes, I do. I like to kill the roots, Chris. I mean, I like to basically make sure that, you know, they are working to natural fall.
Yep.
And it's not overly cooked. That's why I'm working with quite a slow speed. So I'm not killing the hair. I'm working the hair in a very soft manner.
And Rick Roberts says, so true, guys, just going back to what we were talking about before, he says, so true, you have to know the rules to break the rules.
100%.
Which I think is very much one of my my mottos in life, Rick. I'm all over that.
Now, quite an exaggerated shape I'm working here. You know, this for me is kind of it is a rule breaking haircut. It's not a classic graduation.
No.
I'm working above the O-bone with the granite back. This is obviously so I've got room for my top area to just fall over the top and hug in.
And is that something, because going that high with the graduation, that's not something you often see in the salon, is it?
Well, or I think this connection now is, if I'm honest, it's like you were talking about balayage earlier. It's part of the classics now.
Yeah.
But I don't think we should be teaching it too early. But I definitely think, you know, once you qualify and you pass your trade tests, you know, you make sure that you get all your classicals passed, you know, your one length bob and your layered bob, your graduated bob and so on and so forth, and then your long hair. Get that passed, then you can start to move on to your more salon contemporary, which is basically this, which is haircuts with small amounts of disconnection in. They're going to seamlessly blend. It's not going to look outlandish or anything like that. It's just going to look like a commercial haircut in the end. The layers will blend. And this does tie into Rush's strength and movement. Strength and movement is a philosophy we designed where we're working with the idea of very strong undercutting sometimes and undershapes, and we're veiling disconnections over the top to create the movement in the hair. But to do this, we have a very strong philosophy on the rule. You need to have these shapes underneath very tight, very clean. It's not being messy. If it's messy, it's just a bad haircut.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's just going to grow out wrong, it's not going to last long, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, 100%. I think, you know, it's one of those things, isn't it? I think it's one of the biggest mistakes I always see with people that are just starting to work with disconnections. They just leave it a little bit too long through the underneath quite often, and it kind of, you know, pushes the hair out a little while. Is that true to say?
Can be. You can get the weight wrong because when you're going from classical, you know, my classic graduated bobs, you know, you sit more here, this line here, and go triangular, a lot more triangular. With this, I'm removing more of the weight, so it is a totally different technique and it's a totally different skill set. That's the beautiful thing about hairdressing, I think, is, you know, I spoke about this years ago. You never stop learning. Never, never, never. You know, once you do that, then you do that, then you've got to work on your styling, then you've got to learn your new wave trends, then you've got to, you know, there's always something new and fresh coming out that you're learning. And that's the beautiful thing about it. You never get bored.
No. And I think also there's so many skills that, you know, come into play that we don't use. You know, when trends come round, you go out, get out of practice with something, then you kind of like, new trend comes in, you go, oh crumbs, I've got to practice that again, you know? Yeah. Like for example, you know, when it was really massive to just iron everything, everyone used to wrap dry, iron everything. We kind of got out of the habit of, you know, blow drying properly. Now everyone blow dries, and you see amazing sort of blow dries going on now, but we can get in some of the other sort of skills, you know. So there's always skills as hairdressers that come around, isn't there?
Listen, the irons to me, fantastic. They serve the purpose, but I'm still an old school blow dryer.
Yeah.
I'll always will be. I'll always be someone who believes in blow drying hair well, and has, you know, cares a lot about it. You can see now that hair's sitting naturally, not completely finished, but because I'm going to refine before I do anything else. Now, before I go into my exterior, which is my outlines, I'm going to do a little bit of dusting. Just going to work through from the nape and just start to, if there's any marks there, a lot shouldn't be coming off here, guys. You know, to be honest with you, it's not something that you should be taking loads of hair off. It should just be literally dust working through some of the outline.
Rick says he sees both later. He's got to go. He'll catch up the rest on replay later on.
Thanks, Rick.
Enjoy HJ, and he also mentioned, you know, congratulations on my interview at Fellowship. Thanks, Rick.
It was brilliant, actually, guys. Thank you.
Really nice. I was really pleased to be asked to do it and enjoyed doing it very much.
Yeah.
So it's great to get that opportunity.
It's good fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, it is. Oh, there goes the gimbal.
It's gone again.
It's back. There we go.
Just checking, moving my fingers through a little bit. If there's just any elevation I need to just make it smoother. Just moving my fingers through the shape. So I'm going to just take a seat just so I get a bit more eye level on the shape. Just start to work a little bit of this outline now. Starting with a bit of club cutting, and obviously once it's clubbed in, using the points of the scissors to allow the line to sit a bit flatter to the face or the nape. So I'm putting my head's in the way a bit now.
That's all right. I'm coming round so we can see as you cut as much as possible.
Start on the right, my shorter side.
Julie Davis says, looks great, love the shape. Thanks, Julie.
Thanks, Julie. Very nice of you.
And guys, those of you just tuning in, we're going to post this live as this to our timeline afterwards, so you'll be able to sort of go back, see what you've missed already. But also, guys, if you've got any questions or you'd like a shout out, pop a comment in the box. We'll do our best to kind of read it out or answer any questions that any of you've got. We've got Grace Forby says, so nice. Thank you, Grace. Oh, sorry, that's my gimbal having a...
What's it called? Gimbal?
That's what we call it. I don't know. It's a steady cam. That's our nickname. A gimbal's a rocket guidance system. Byron says, love this, such a sexy shape. Thank you, Byron. It's Byron Hadley James.
Thanks, Byron, man. How you doing?
Archie McDonald says, shout out. Here's a shout out, Archie. Thank you for tuning in, man. And Lucy May says that line is on point. Talking of which, when you're cutting it, I notice you're sort of doing a bit of a mixture of club cutting and pointing.
Yes, I do a little bit of clubbing first. I'm going to club the shape in a bit, and then I'm going to go right the way through the shape and refine it.
Yeah.
And when I refine it, obviously I'm going to use the points of my scissors.
Archie McDonald says, love the shape. Thank you, Archie.
Thanks, Archie.
Sorry about the camera, guys. It really is playing up now.
This is just the initial stage. We're going to work with the clipper work in a minute as well.
Yep.
Cleaning some of the neck hair away and doing what I call a scooping technique, where we kind of scoop a bit of the line.
And Andy, you've been cutting Anna's hair for quite a while, haven't you?
I've cut it a few times actually, yeah. She's got lovely hair.
She's got great hair, hasn't she?
It's just that kind of hair where it's kind of a nice consistency. I mean, it's like, oh, excuse me, it's my... Sorry.
Alison Shepherd says she's just tuning in. Is that the first section? It's not the first section that we are taking. Andy's been sort of cutting the graduation through the back. He's done sort of 3 sections already. But we will post this to our to the Academy page, so to the Rush Academy Facebook page at the end of this. So if you want to go back and see how he started, then you can. Sorry again about the camera, just it is not liking me today.
Doesn't like you today, no?
Doesn't seem to. He keeps having little
wobbles.
Yeah. Lucy May Killick says, Andy, how often do you get your scissors sharpened? And do you find the more expensive scissors stay sharp for longer?
I use cobalt scissors from Joel. That's what we use here at the Academy. Very happy with them. For me, I just like a really, really simple shape on a scissor. I don't like anything too complicated. The answer to your question is, these are brand new. I've had them a week, so they are primary sharp at the moment. There's they are spot on basically, and I'd like to keep them that way. I don't ever sharpen. I tend to buy a new pair of scissors every 8 months, to be honest, and then pass my scissors down or keep them as spares, whatever. But I like to use brand new scissors. I don't like. Oh, I don't know if I should say that.
You're not a big fan of sharpening, are you?
I'm not a big fan of sharpening scissors. Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of them. I tend to use scissors that aren't too expensive, and I change my scissors more regularly. That's what I tend to do. Just personal. You know, I think there's some people that feel like I do, and there's other people that sharpen their scissors. There is no right or wrong.
No, there's no right or wrong anything, is there?
But I think, you know, when you buy really expensive scissors, then you tend to get them sharpened. And you know, but I tend to work this way, that's all. So I like the brand new feel of a brand new pair of scissors where the balance is nice, and I like where the blades are very strong, very sharp. But like there are people out there that make a living out of sharpening scissors, and I don't, obviously.
A lot of people do sharpen scissors, and I've got to be fair, if you spend an awful lot of money on them,
yes, you need to.
You should sharpen them. You know, you can't. No one should be spending sort of, you know, £500 or £600 for a pair of scissors, and then you know, having to replace them every 6 months or a year.
Exactly.
Really. But you know, like you say, Andy, you tend to go we're sort of middle of the range pair, don't you?
Yeah.
And then kind of replace them more often, which, you know, it works out about the same that you're spending.
Let me just go back to what I'm doing now. Now I'm working through that square area through the crown. I'm layering the hair over the undercut. So I'm just directing 2 to 1, 3 to 2. I'm creating a rounded shape with the head shape. So I bevel this front area around the underneath. And now, I didn't take the underneath, I haven't finished cleaning the underneath. That's not finished. But I thought I'd do the top, blow dry it, finish it, then completely finish the hairline afterwards.
We've got a quick, Archie McDonald says, where is this hairdresser's? Archie, we're at the Rush Academy here in Covent Garden. If you happen to be in London at any time, feel free to pop down and see us. We're on Bedford Court. The address is on the Facebook page. So, you know, pop down, pop in, say hi. We love to show people around. We love to sort of share the love, guys.
100%. Anyone, the door is open to anyone to come and have a look. We've got an amazing space here. The designer is the co-founder of Rush, and he's a very avid art fan. So he's created a bit of an art space feel. Doesn't feel like a hair academy actually, which is, you know, I don't know what, you know, it's a good thing. It kind of feels, you kind of feel like you're in a kind of creative environment. It's very arty, it's very cool. So come down, have a look at it, and then we'll show you around. It's a really nice place to kind of bounce your creative juices around and learn new ways and so on and so forth.
Rosa Lupin says hello.
Hello.
And she says so good. I'm not sure what that means. Sorry, Rosa. But hi, nice to have you tuned in. Where are you watching from? Archie McDonald says, do we go live on most people's hair? The answer, Archie, no, we don't. We tend to do this once a week. We're an education centre here for the Rush, and also for anyone that wants to come down, join us in one of our courses. We only go live once a week, 10:30, so we tend to share one look with you guys per week. But if you are about 10:30 UK time, tune in every week, see what we're sharing. We try and do something a little bit different each week so that it's not just the same thing. Like we always say to everyone, if you've got any special requests, pop them up. We'll do our best to accommodate you. So if there's something you'd like to see, please ask. We've got Sasha Holmes watching from Nuneaton, Warwickshire. Someone said they're watching from Florida. Louise Ryan says amazing, watching from Hugh Camden Island. Hello to Louise and all the Hugh Campbell group. Sasha says she's in Warwickshire. Michelle says great video, ethos and cut, kudos. Thank you, Michelle. Emma says, will the students be learning from you, Andy and Chris, on the academy courses? Emma, we are here when we're not out and about, so Andy and I are based here sort of 3 or 4 days a week. We teach whenever we're here, as much as we can. So we wouldn't guarantee that you'll see us, but please, if you pop down, you know, we like to be involved, we like to be educating, we like to be doing hair, so we try our best to be with everyone.
That would be funny, if you want to request us, You know, you can phone and say, look, you know, I really would like to do a course with Chris on colour. You know, I'm sure it'll be acknowledged by the manager. And we can do that for you.
Sorry, camera's gone on again. Get that sorted out.
I'm going to take this top, I'm going to drop it first. Let me just have a look. Now, this top area here, this front area, I'm going to connect from the back. I might slightly change the angle a little bit. I'm going to see how we are. I think it'd be best to go around there, Chris.
Okay, I'm going to come around there, see if I can get this to work. There we go. That's it, camera's sort of better. We've got Marcy watching from Brisbane, Jeannie from Turkey, Sultan Bay says hi, hello, super. And Emma says thank you, a lot of the team would like to meet us all. We'd love to as well. We've got Miri from Argentina, Buenos Aires.
Hey,
hi Miri.
I love Buenos Aires.
Such a wicked place, we had a great time there a couple of years ago, didn't we, Andy?
Yeah, I've been 3 times actually, I love it there.
Got hello from Texas as well. So what are you doing anyway, Andy?
So now working short to long, working to my longest point towards the front, ensuring everything nothing else reaches. So my line has been followed right the way through. Now I'm going to dry this off before I even connect that front, because it might be a situation where it kind of bevels in really nicely. I'm going to have a look at that.
Yeah.
Again, the outline shape I'll finish when I dry it completely.
I've got Con the Geezer says love from Athens. Hi guys in Athens.
Hello.
Hope you're all really well. Melissa says hello. Kim Pop Holt says hi from Tennessee. We've got Mary love from Milan. Laritza says hello from Australia. Sandy from Warsaw, Missouri. Beth is watching from Florida. Heidi is watching from Orlando, Mickeytown, Orlando, Florida.
Wow.
So hi guys, thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. It's probably early in the morning there.
I'm going to dry this off first.
So what was that you just sprayed on there, Andy?
Okay, that was Plea, guys. Now Plea, remember I've already used Mist Control. Just let me show you that, which is a control cream. It's one of my favourite products to cut with.
Yep.
So if you're a L'Oreal customer, or even if you're not L'Oreal, if you want to buy this, you're a home hairdresser in America and you can get this in your wholesalers, cut hair with this, it's fantastic. You've got Plea, which is my building product, which is water soluble again, so it's not too sticky, doesn't have an incredible hold, it makes it very pliable for me. So just a nice soft product to work with.
We've got Samantha as well from Felixstowe. Beth says it's a beautiful cut. Shiva is watching from Chennai. And watching from Florida. Someone says super. Kieran, with the way you cut the top section, will you only be able to play around with it?
Yeah, I'll be able to, you know, it will be very flexible now for me. You'll see now, as I start to dry the hair, I start to move it around a bit.
Yeah.
You know, we've got a very strong foundation underneath. The top has a bit more, it's still structured, you saw me cut lines into it. I'm not breaking it up too much. I am going to create slight point cutting techniques on the top, purely just so it feeds into the underneath a little bit easier, and it creates my movement. The whole idea of this philosophy that we're working with today is the whole idea of that the hair has a bit of an internal bop about it, has a bit of a kind of movement about it.
Yeah.
This is where it, you know, came from years ago. We start to disconnect hair. This is not connected to this. So you have that kind of floatiness about the interior layers, which I find very, very sexy.
Yeah. We've got Sandra, hello from Germany. Matt Brown's watching. And Mukhtar Ahmad says hello from Kashmir. So I've got a lot of people sort of tuning in. Again, you're just using the flat brush now, aren't you, Andy?
Just using a Denman. I've got from Wise Park. Purely just allowing the natural fall of the hair first, blow drying it in. So I'm getting this kind of natural fall, not pushing any volume into the hair yet.
Yeah.
And I will go to my round brush at the end as I always do, to create a little bit more tension and a little bit of shine. A bit more shine on the hair. It's just something I feel very comfortable with. Like I say, we're here to share our philosophies, not anyone else's. It's kind of what we do, what we're into. And I think that's what's so beautiful about, you know, having so many different really cool brands in London and England.
Well, everywhere as well.
Everywhere in the world. Everyone's got their own kind of beliefs, you know? And you kind of, I watch a lot of other people, you know, just to get inspiration and so on and so forth. I think it's really important.
And there's a comment that we can't hear you over the hairdryer. Can you speak up just a touch for us?
Sorry. Of course I will.
We've got loads of people all over the world sort of tuning in, commenting. Sorry guys, I haven't read you out. But Marsha Andrews says makes her miss hairdressing and British hairdressers. She's a Welshie living out in Australia and it's past her bedtime. Cindy Hall says you're an artist. Kaniki says they can do that, can we employ them? Guys, if you're in London and you want, you know, pop in, say hi, we'll have a chat about it. But also guys, you know, great to have so many people tuning in from around the world. If you are interested in what we're doing, please check out our website. The Rush Academy, www.rushacademy.co.uk, and you know, see what we're doing. Check out the Facebook page. There's a link to be posted in here about some of our courses at the end of this. So you know, find out a little bit more about who we are and what we're getting ourselves up to.
Trouble most of the time.
Yeah, we're usually not getting ourselves up to trouble. We've got a quick question. Now the Academy is in Covent Garden, are you getting a better wide variety of models? Need to put themselves into a course soon?
We are, listen, the model situation has been fantastic since we've been here.
Yeah.
We're having a great time. You know, it is a new business, so we're building our model bank slowly. You know, looking after our models, making sure that we get repeat business. Because at the end of the day, here at the Academy, we like to look after them, just so we can keep the best ones, you know what I mean? Make sure it's growing. We've got to look after their models. So we're having a great time so far. Oh, thank you.
That's it guys, if you want to be a model, we just put a link in the comments box for you.
I think that's a good point as well.
Chris Christos says, looking good Andy.
Thank you, Chris.
Chris, we're looking forward to seeing you on Monday when you join the workshop team. We've got a really nice day lined up to work with you guys, so we're really looking forward to that. So come down there.
I'm just using the round brush now, just on some of the top layers, just to pull the hair through, give myself a really nice shine on there.
Sunki Beck's just tuned in. Sunki, does that mean you've arrived in Korea? Hi, if you're watching from Korea, Sunki. Sunki's gone out, he's one of our art team members. He's off to Korea this week to teach a seminar and to do some photo shoots. So I hope you had a safe journey, enjoy the trip. We look forward to seeing you when you get back, Sunki.
Have a great time, mate.
Oh, Lucy May Phillips says happy Valentine's, by the way. Guys, we forgot to say that when we tuned in. That's what happens if you get two geezers doing the Facebook Live.
Two geezers.
We've completely forgotten to mention Valentine's.
Happy Valentine's Day, Tina. That's my girlfriend out there somewhere. Happy Valentine's. She managed to see her this morning. I ducked out a bit early.
So now, Andy, you're using a round brush. I saw you already trying to get quite a bit of tension before with the other one.
Yeah.
You're just using this to smooth the hair?
Smooth the hair, give myself a little bit more tension. Bevel those edges round. Just using it to smooth.
hair already looking absolutely fab. Got Robbie Sean Purcell, who's watching from Italy, used to be an Italian educator for another brand in the UK, which is also based in Covent Garden. As you say, we never stop learning from each other, loves Rush. Thank you, Robbie. I think one of the great things about the industry is that we never stop learning. There's always something new
100%, Robert.
to see or to do.
You can see how that shape's working now and why I had to flatten that underneath down quite a lot. She's got quite a lot of hair. It is beautiful hair to work with, don't get me wrong. Absolutely stunning. But it expands, you know. She's got a few greys, and when you've got grey hair, it just makes it a little bit more wiry. It just pushes the hair out a little bit and you just get that little bit more expansion. So this technique's worked ideally for her. Using a nozzle, place it down the hair. But making sure that the nozzle always is moving, hair dry's moving, down the hair shaft. You're really making sure you're really careful not to burn her.
Lucy May says she loves Tina. When she worked with her daughters, she taught her the keyhole section. It's a great section. She's an incredible hairdresser. Tina is an amazing hairdresser. We're very lucky to have her as part of the team. Irene says, hi, happy Valentine's Day. That's Irene Igari.
Hello, Irene.
And we'll cut out the comments. I can't read, sorry. They're in another language, which I knew you were saying. Oh, can I get round you there?
Move around a bit.
You're moving, I'm trying to move as quick as you do. Doing my best, guys.
You can see why I've left down underneath to finish off, because it's going to start to connect all the shape together in a minute. So stick around, because I think this bit at the end is kind of where we have the most fun as hairdressers.
Yeah.
For me, this is where we have that. We make sure that the shape really falls together. It makes it beautiful. Now I am going to keep those areas at the front longer. So what you can see in the previous shape, what I've done is I've kind of worked areas away from the hairline, but I am actually growing the shape out. So I am actually going to leave those today. I'm not going to cut these back in. I'm going to leave it to grow down.
Yeah. We're getting lots of hellos. Some happy Valentine's Day. Nasha says happy Valentine's Day.
That's why I got my red comb, guys. That's why I got my red comb. I didn't forget it.
That's why you got it.
Didn't forget it.
Yeah.
Promise.
You've lost your other comb on again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lost my green one. Conveniently, this one was red. So I'm going to work on my interiors first. So working with my layering pattern that's previously been layered. My square area, if you like, on the crown. And I'm now going to just loosen this line.
I'm going to come in tight here.
Sure. Please.
I think one thing that I always notice whenever you point into the end zone is that you really are parallel to the hair.
Yes.
So you're not destroying the shape. You're really sort of just keeping that line.
Just making that line transient.
You see that line there now.
Just making that line transient. That's all. Now this obviously makes the underneath now feed into the top feed into the underneath. So all I'm doing is basically feeding this area into the underneath and making sure I get more of a transient approach to the layering.
You've got Maura Maria who's sending you some kisses and what looks like a girl with very long legs. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
It's Valentine's Day, and Tom is my brother. He's commented he's actually hearing the building. He's sort of watching from over there. He says it's great to watch the guys cutting live. If you are around, like we say, please pop down. And guys, also, if you work for Rush, if you're in one of our salons in London, you want to come down and watch live with us here for Facebook Live on a Wednesday morning, then feel free to do that as well. We you know, the more people in the room, the merrier, I think, and
yeah,
you know, we'd love to get that kind of cool sharing vibe and get some questions live in in the room. So feel free to come and do that. And when you're doing this now, you're refining. Is there anything particular you're looking for, or are you just softening all of the ends of that?
Just trying to. I'm actually watching the ends. I'm watching the ends quite carefully because I don't want to lose the line. The line needs to stay. It's the foundational aspect of the haircut. But I just want the lines just be a little bit more transient. You can see what that's done now. You can see what that's done. It's
really
just brought the shape into play. Everything's now
blends in nicely there, doesn't it?
blending.
So it almost completely looks like a graduated haircut now, doesn't it? It's totally blended in there.
The whole object of this was 60s today. I wanted to put this kind of 60s element into the haircut.
Yep.
With this really high crown. That's what we spoke about earlier. So I've got this kind of, this lift. I call it the hair facelift really, because it is. Everything kind of comes up and just gives women a lot more of a lift in the face and everything. Lifts them up. I love doing this shape. I think it's one of my. I'm a real 60s nut. I never quote people on this. I never go retro because I'm an art director in my company, and I run a certain department for the company, and I think being retro, it's okay taking a little bit of ideas from the past, but really I think we always have to be thinking forward. In my opinion, I'm someone who likes to look at hair and think, what can be next? What's the next thing? Because there always is something new. And there is, whether it be a fashion, whether it be combining a fashion with a hairstyle, but there's always something new out there. And I think it's very important for us to stay on top of that, really.
Yeah, 100%. It's a good point you make, Andy, for me, actually, because, I think fashion has a tendency to go in cycles.
Yes.
We always look for inspiration from the past, but I think it's what you say. It is that, it's inspiration, not kind of literally recreating something that is
rejigging,
from another decade or another generation. It's taking an idea of that and using kind of modern techniques to bring it up to date, isn't it?
Modernising it, yeah, 100%.
And fashion does go in cycles. We do see things go round and round, and I think that there is so much amazing inspiration when you look at the past. It's well worth, if you're not up to date, it's well worth learning your hair history, because there's so many great inspiring things that we do now that have come from decades gone by, isn't there?
100%.
That's looking fabulous.
You like it? Thanks, Chris.
So you're just going to work now with the clippers?
I'm going to work a little bit with the clippers first, just a little bit. Then I'm going to dust through. These sort of haircuts, let's be honest, it was a restyle I've done today. I had a lot of hair to cut off.
Yeah.
So I'm going to work over the ears.
Come on, so you can see this guys here. If you need to move and let me know.
No, that's fine, mate.
So you're using them just to skim the edge of the graduation.
Skim the edge, yeah. Working that outline in a bit. And obviously taking the neck hair off afterwards.
Yeah, and it's always, when you do that, you push up with the blades.
Yeah, I do. I'd like to work. I don't affect the line too much there. to the other side now.
Obviously, you've got the disconnection here, Andy.
Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of feed this into it, Chris. I'm kind of just gonna. I don't think I'm gonna connect completely. I think I'm just gonna kind of lift that area up there, let it drop. A bit more of a curve on it. Still got to do a bit of pointing. I love these curves though on lines.
Yeah,
They're so flattering.
And I quite like the fact you've got a little bit of curve on this side and it drops at the front, and you've got that kind of slightly square line on the opposite side.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? It's kind of working how I previously worked the haircut last time actually. Key point here, make sure you're working it over the ears, not combing it behind the ears. You need to allow that ear jump in the hair. Make sure that you're working so everything's pure for you.
Yeah. You've got a few comments, you've got some likes. You've got Irene says that she's a hairdresser and loving our work. Robbie
Thanks,
Sean
Ryan.
says it's a fusion of 60s meets millennial woman, he loves it. Yield says bravo, and we've got a Hi Joyce, which I don't think is meant for us, I think it's meant for somebody else that's watching.
Hi Joyce, how you doing?
But hi Joyce too. That's from Danica. And, you know,
Millennium Fusion, I love it.
I like that word, don't you? Nice expression.
Taking that, mate.
And I think, guys, one of the great things about these live looks is you really never get this up close and personal watching, you know, seeing how someone does this sort of thing. Even if you're at a demonstration, it's very hard to get in this close and see what someone's doing. So you can really, you know, look at the technique and see everything. There's, you know, nothing kind of
hidden, is it?
Hidden here. We are literally so close at times that I keep bumping Andy on the head with the camera. I've got Judy Rowan says this is so cute. Nicole Murray says excellent work. Hey from Newfoundland in Canada. Robbie says, aha, you can tell he used to teach. That's the reply to you stealing his comments.
Yeah, nice one, Rob.
Tim says, where are you living? He lives in Tillium Zerada, says he lives in Orlando. Guys, we are in London. We're in Covent Garden in London today, going live. And we're going to be doing this again, like I keep saying, every single week, 10 o'clock. And 10:30 UK time. We'll be going live, so tune in regularly, see what we're up to. I saw you sort of skimming your scissors down through as well.
Just a little bit, yeah. Just you see where those edges are just falling over. Just edge that through a little bit. Just want to have a look at the front. Just a little bit of a. Just gonna elevate this out. Just this front area. Excuse me. And just move your head up just a little bit, Anna. Sorry, darling. Thank you, Anna. Just gonna soften into this, just this area first. I want to disconnect, but I just want it to make sure it feeds into it.
Yeah, nice.
That's cool. Yeah, is there one there? Yeah, there is.
Get that dust on her face for us.
That's the one thing about live. You've got to clean as you go.
So I'm just giving you a little dust off that.
This is where Chris really comes in handy.
Yeah.
Not only for the colours, he's a real gentleman. We're coming near to the end now, and I want to thank all of you for all your questions today and all your help with some of the ideas for what to call this. Thank you, mate. Millennium Fusion, I absolutely love that, thank you. And I think you'll all agree, she looks fantastic.
I think it really suits.
Thanks, Chris. I'll get that now.
Just doing that. Yeah, you can go now.
Thank you.
So a little bit of hairspray.
Just a bit of spray on it. Yeah.
Infinium, is that you're using there?
Yeah, just a bit of Infinium. Coming into place. See how we go. Oh, that's nice. I like it. She looks incredible with this bob.
Yeah.
I like, you know, I
Really suits you.
say to myself, but I've done this kind of shape last time, and I did it live in a class, and I told her to grow it out for me for face up. She said she's a school teacher actually, so we're in the half term. So obviously I was able to hook up Anna. I want to thank her for being my model today. Thank you, Anna. And hopefully she enjoys the haircut as much as we have. There you go. There you are, sorry Anna. You stand up for me, darling, sorry. So finished the haircut off, I'm just going to give you a quick recap. I have used... Come over here. Yeah, sorry, got a grey backdrop. Yes,
Give you a
good
nice
idea,
sort of
good idea.
backdrop there so we can see what's going on.
Nice. So, worked a C-section, which is almost like a rectangle section, which I cut across the top of the crown, worked a recession. I worked a very flat graduation, and the differentiation was from working a classic grad, was if I worked a classic graduate bob, I would have probably worked vertical, into, and pivoted. I worked slightly more across my shape, still directing 2 to 1, 3 to 2, 4 to 3.
Yeah.
So I get that square line. Then directed the sides back underneath, dried it off, worked a basic outline just so I could see roughly what it was going to look like. And then I layered round into triangular through the top, allowing a little bit of disconnection through the front to drop over. And then just dried it off and refined. Number 8 this year. Thank you so much. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thanks for all your questions. It's been real fun.
Yeah.
And hopefully see you soon.
Yeah, please come visit us here at the Academy. Can I just get you just to do a quick turn so everyone can see the finished look? And brilliant. We'll be live again next week at 10:30.
See you then.
See you all then. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.